Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Mental Health Awareness Initiative. Today, we have a very lovely guest from Jordan, Mrs. Maha Bannoura. She is a relationship coach and NLP practitioner. Welcome to the show, Maha.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Maha Nabil Mitri Bannoura. I'm from Jordan. I am certified NLP practitioner and relationship coach. I've been working with many international schools and organizations from different sectors for several years. I'm freelancer, consultant and trainer, provide exceptional care to variety of clients by one-to-one or group sessions or video conferencing. I deal with my client by chat counseling or video counseling, specializing in some cases. These cases may be for family and relationship and parenting, in positive thinking, dealing with the guilt feeling, dealing with loss as death or work, overcoming limiting beliefs. Also, I'm working in self-confidence and self-esteem. Also, how to manage difficult people or negative people. Developing new strategies for problem solving and dealing with pain. Finally, creating more freedom and choice over your mindset. And this is as I told you. Yeah, a brief, let's say.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your valuable time that you took out.
Thank you.
Know. Okay, and since you mentioned when you were doing the description part, and it's very relatable to the current time that we all are right now. The pain part and the loss part, these two are like, we are constantly hearing the news of somebody losing, either, as you have said, someone has lost their loved ones or they have lost their work or job. I would like you to talk about grief. Is it different from depression, or is grief in specifically be, dealt separately?
Yeah, grief is a natural response to loss. It's emotional suffering you feel when something or someone you love is taken away. The pain of loss can feel overwhelming. You may experience all kinds of difficult and unexpected emotions, from shock or anger, disbelief, guilt, and sadness. In grief, the pain can also disrupt your physical health, that make you difficult to sleep or to eat. If we want to distinguish between grief and depression, it's not that easy to distinguish between them. But I can about depression. There is a symptoms of depression is different from grief. Do you want me to start with symptoms of grief? Because we have two symptoms, emotions symptoms and physical symptoms, as we said. Disbelief, sadness, guilt, anger, and fear. And for the physical symptoms, fatigue, nausea, lowered immunity, and weight loss or weight gain, pain, and insomnia. If we go to depression, we see different, because the difference between depression and the grief of loss is different. We have thoughts of suicide. We have feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness. We have slow speech and slow in body movement, inability to function at home or work or at school. We see client seeing or hearing things that aren't there. This is for depression, okay? On the other side, grief can be a roller coaster. It involves a wide variety of emotions and mixed of good and bad days. When you are even when you are in the middle of the grieving process, you will still have a moment of pleasure or happiness, and this is different with depression. As I said, how we see the client that's suffering from depression. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really very nice because sometimes it is overlapping also. So it's good that the listeners now can actually identify that what you have shared in grief, there are good days and bad days both. But
Yeah.
in depression, it's like you have a constant feeling of hopelessness for quite some
Yeah.
time. Like if a person is grieving and they have lost, right? You have mentioned about the symptoms, then how should they deal? Because this is a very important topic, and I'm really like happy that you are sharing this topic and listeners can actually benefit out of it in this
Yeah.
catastrophic time.
Yeah, of course. The client should acknowledge his pain and accept that grief can trigger many different and unexpected emotions. So it's normal, and he should accept that different and unaccepted emotions, okay? And he should understand that the grieving process will be unique to him, okay? And also he should seek out support, face-to-face support from people that who care about him, and to support himself emotionally by taking care of himself physically. And he should know and recognize the difference between the grief and depression. So if he start in a depression, he should seek for a help in medical doctor, okay, psychiatrist. And we have stages for the grief. He should be acknowledge the stages also of the grief if you want to talk about it, because I always tell my client about it.
Please.
The client, yeah, they start to denial that this can't be happened to me. Then they start to feel anger. Why this happened to me? Why is this happening? Who is the blame? Okay. Then start bargaining, making this not happen, or in return I will. They also may go in depression I'm too sad to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to eat. I want. They don't. They want to stop their life. Then after that, the acceptance. They feel peace with what happened. They still remember it, but they feel peace with it. This is the last stage of a grief.
Okay, so it's like when somebody loses someone, they will be going through the stages of grief, wherein it will
Yeah,
start initially like why me part, and then the blaming part. Moving ahead, they may get angry, and then they will start, doing the chores that they are supposed to do. They'll not do it in the way they were doing it before. So it's also like they are inflicting pain on themselves also, and emotionally. Then it's like they move ahead, and slowly they start accepting it, and they will be at peace.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That is very helpful.
Yeah.
And once they have accepted, you know the grief that okay, that person is no more, how should they move ahead?
They have to know that life يعني they don't uh, they should move toward life will not stop, and they have to accept what's happening and start to do things that they like, their hobbies. Maybe they do to care about their physical health, um, um, or if some client would rather to move to another place or another work or another home. This is different from client to client, because in a grief we see um, there is no right or wrong way to grieve, but there are healthy ways to deal with the grieving process, and it depends on the client also.
Okay, and if you can just mention two three healthy ways that people can, just make a note of it, maybe it will benefit them, or if they can share it with somebody who will benefit out of it.
um, okay, they can turn to friends and family members. Maybe accept that many people feel uh, يعني no, we can, if you want any advice, if they follow religious traditions, they will feel comfortable, because spiritual activities will make them more stronger, and it will make them feel in a peace. Um, so they can join spiritual activity.
Okay, so it's like,
Maybe they can from time to time talk to a therapist or a grief counselor. It will be good for them to keep them move forwarding in their life. It's very important, this part. Or
very true.
yeah, and join for support group. It يعني when support group they are all of them grief, they share their stories and they learn from each يعني story, and strength they have more strength from each other, and this support them too much.
Absolutely. Because
Yes.
they learn the coping skills from each other,
Yeah.
how the other person has overcome this difficult feeling. Because it is not easy, pain is painful, and you have rightly said the healthy way to grief is along with the family members when you talk and
Yeah.
have a conversation or take a guided support from a
Or
therapist.
friends will help also.
Absolutely. Friends are also very important part in everyone's life. They are a big
Yeah.
support for each
But
other.
supporting group, why it's important? Because they will see that يعني, they are not uh, not this يعني, he is not the only one he is grieving. There is many people who are grieving يعني, as I said, when the stages of grief, he start in denial and asking himself why this happened to me. So in a support group, he will see that this is happened maybe to anyone, not just for him. It's very
True.
important, yeah. And
And that
anyone
is
can be in his يعني, in his place.
true. So the shift will then start from denial to acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay. And Maha, tell me, had you experienced anything in the last year, since last year?
From يعني, do you want me as a client who came to me?
Anything, your personal life or the client part, anything you would like to share?
Yeah, I want to share about يعني, my personal life. I lost my grandmom. I loved her. I was living with her in Palestine. She died last year, and I couldn't go and see her for the last time. It was hard, but for me, I was praying because she was very old, and she is very tired, and she don't want to keep alive. يعني خلاص, she wants to die. Uh, I start praying for her, and I know that she was listening to me. I was seeing her by um, uh, Google every day, and I start to pray for God that give her peace, that she was wish, because she was a good grandmother and a loving person, and she was supporting her kids, her grand kids. We all loved her, so we prayed for God to stop his pain, her pain, and she died in a peace. It was hard not to say her, but I always remember her for what the good things she was doing to us, how she was uh, good with others, with neighbors, with everyone in the family. She was a loving person. So it's a good way for grief to think how this person was good with you, and the good side on him, not to stop your life because you will not see him. For me, it was hard to see my grandmother suffering and in a pain for me as a Maha. And I know everyone will go and die. It's This is life, and we have to accept it as it. And I guess this is a spiritual, and I believe we should really put it in our mind and not to forget it, that every one of us will die someday, and we have to accept that. It will be, يعني, it will help us to grieve more faster.
I am really sorry for your loss. May her soul rest in peace. And
Thank you very much.
you have beautifully said that yes, when somebody leaves, we should remember the good things they have done, the goodness they have instilled in the process of their interaction. And definitely that person will be missed, but you are carrying her legacy now.
Yeah, and they are live in our hearts and in our mind. This is for me, this is how I see.
That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing your
You're
personal
welcome.
experience.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy for this nice opportunity to talk about myself and to talk about this topic that is very important, because grief is not يعني only for death. Maybe you loss, it's loss of health or losing of job or financial stability. We are seeing now in Corona, or loss of يعني friendship, or lose of safety after trauma, or maybe selling your home because you can't afford it, or you need money to live. We are now يعني most of the people coping with grief and loss in different topic, just not only for death in coronavirus.
That is really very insightful because usually connect grief with only death. And you have rightly now, opened up the dimension of grief itself, and people will relate to what you are saying and try to understand that yes, life moves on and we need to fight this thing off.
Of course.
Before we wind up, one thing that you want our listeners to remember.
I want the listeners to remember that um, uh, life is too short. You don't know when you will die. So don't waste um, uh, your time, your emotions, and in things that will make you sad. Just live your life day by day. Make everything you love, that make you happy, and not forgotten for the people you love, as your friends, as your family. Make all the things that make you and them happy together, because life is very beautiful if you see it in the bright side. Don't look to any negative sides or a problem. You face it and make your life somehow not easy. Always look to the bright side. This is my advice to all the listeners that they are listening to me. And thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Maha, because this is a very bright note that you have ended the conversation with. It's really very positive, and I'm sure all the listeners now will be charged up to make the best out of whatever time they have. And keep on thinking on working on the positive note to make life beautiful and memories beautiful for themselves and for others around them. Thanks a lot for joining in.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And God bless you.
Same for you also. We all wish that you stay healthy and safe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have
Welcome.
a, have a nice day.
You too. So, with that note, with that positive note, I would say we end the session for the day. Tomorrow, we'll be back with another guest on this episode, same time. Till then, be safe. Bye.
Bye bye.